Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Adobe Photoshop CC. To do that, I'm just going to go into the search menu and type in photo and it will pop up. It's the blue icon. Once it opens up, the first thing you're going to want to do is pick a picture that you want to edit. We do this by going File, Open, and go into My Documents, your Photo 10 folder, and from there you'll pick a picture. I'm going to pick a picture called Dwight's Awesome Shot, and this is a really awesome picture that Dwight took of his watch. So once I have it open, the first thing I'm going to do is go over to the Layers tab and change the background to a layer by double-clicking it and hitting yes on the pop-up that comes up. This just opens up some editing features for the picture. So the first thing I notice about this picture that I might want to correct is that the colors are a little bit washed out. I would like to make them a little bit more intense. To change the colors of the picture, I'm going to go to the Image tab in the top menu, and under Image I'm going to go to Adjustments. Here there's a bunch of controls to enhance the picture. The first thing I usually do is change the brightness and contrast, specifically the contrast. Remember, contrast is the difference between your lights and your darks. There's a bunch of things here that I encourage you to try out and see what they do, but the next thing I'm going to do is the exposure. And you'll find that sliding the exposure will usually help make the picture lighter or darker. Same with the offset. The gamma correction is kind of the one I'm looking for right now. It's going to help to kind of bring the effect that I want. Now another important one is hue/saturation. This is something that helps you to change the colors of the picture as well as make the colors more intense, that's the saturation, or make them so unintense that they're black and white. So my picture's starting to look pretty good. It already looks quite a bit better than it did when we first started out. Now I have this idea where I want the watch to stand out by having the watch be in color but the background in black and white. To achieve that, I'm going to use the lasso tool, which is also known as the polygonal tool. And I'm just going to start using it to trace the watch. And what's going to happen is once I join both my beginning and my ending ends, everything within that is going to be selected. Now you'll notice that I'm zoomed in too much to really get the full watch. So what's going to happen is once I close the line, I'm going to add to my selection. So to select the rest of the watch, all I'm going to do is hold down my Shift button and then start tracing. And then whatever I select here will be added to my original selection. If you don't hold down the Shift button, it's just going to deselect what you've selected, which means all these lines here are going to disappear and your watch won't be selected. So once I have my selection made, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Layer tab and I'm going to hit the New Layer button, which is the one right next to the trash can symbol. Once I'm done that, I'm going to go back to my original picture layer, and I'm going to hit Control-C, and then go back to my new layer, and then hit Control-P, which means paste. So now I have a copy of the watch, just the watch, on my new layer. And then if I go back to my original layer, which is called Layer 0, I can go into the Hue Saturation menu, pull down the slider on saturation all the way to the very end, and it will turn everything black and white. So now we have a pretty cool looking picture that would actually be kind of a neat choice for a watch advertisement or something like that. If you were to splash some text over it, it could be something that would grab the viewer's attention for sure.